Tennis, a sport of huge highs and devastating lows.
Travelling the world playing tennis is a hell of a job.
There's no off-season, really.
You can be playing the next week, you could be playing the next day.
But what goes into every top tennis player
Lots of pressure and loads of expectation
before they even reach the top 100 or 200?
Once you feel like you can mentally compete, you're almost halfway there.
What does it take to become the best?
Well, life becomes tennis, it revolves around tennis, it's 52 weeks a year.
We all sacrifice our lives.
Behind the scenes with Britain's future game changers.
People just see the end product.
They don't see the tough times. All these guys at the top are willing to do whatever it takes, and if you aren't, you might not get as far as your talent deserves to.
From the young guns, Bartram, Felix Gill, Sonay Kartal and Arthur Fery, to doubles specialists Ali Collins and Freya Christie, and those poised to enter their prime as a player. Alistair Gray, Eden Silva, Ryan Peniston and Billy Harris. This is Beyond the Baseline.
The sport next is back, isn't it? The Nottingham Open. It started today at the Nottingham Tennis Centre and it goes on all the way till Sunday. You'll see a host of big names from all over the world competing.
As the grass court season picks up pace, the tests awaiting the Brits are set to get tougher as more and more of the world's top-ranked players descend on Nottingham for the Rothsey Open.
Very, excited to be back in this tournament and looking forward to my match, of course. It's a great time to be in the UK. You guys know how to take care of your courts, and I just like the fact that the grass is perfect.
Morning.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
You're welcome.
And for the Brits, those who didn't play in Surbiton reunite for the first time this summer.
Sophie Chang. I saw you playing with Zacharias again.
Yeah, I know. What are the chances?
I know, I saw it.
I've always loved playing in Nottingham. The courts are great. Get on the grass and you practice. Everyone's just in a great mood. Everyone's happy. Everyone's laughing.
Can't see the line.
Had a really good practice with Jodie. We're good friends. Also with Heather, we get on really well. It's just so nice because a lot of the time we're all in different places.
Everyone's around training with each other, and that's really rare. For a British tennis player, it's just the best time.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the Rothsey Open, Nottingham.
I love it. This time of the year is unbelievable. Just playing it in front of home fans that are cheering you on, it's a special feeling. To be able to be home, playing in your home country with home support, especially at the bigger events when you get a lot of fans, sometimes I don't think people realise how big of a difference that makes.
You're going to get a lot of support out here in Nottingham. Do you look forward to that support and playing under such a good home crowd?
The crowd support can definitely pull you through and can give you that extra little bit of energy that you need.
Perfect, thank you very much.
And Sonay Kartal.
For Sonay Kartal, the qualifying draw delivers a big hitter. Former Australian Open champion Sophia Kenin.
Nothing can beat that first feeling of walking onto a fresh grass court. It's like spongy under your feet.
Pretty brutal opener here for Sonay Kartal. Fellow Brits, including Jodie Burridge, watching on.
I'm a homey person, so I get to have that feeling of being at home, and it just means my family and friends, they can come and watch and they can come and support.
Kartal serves out wide to the backhand. Kenin staying close to the baseline, but can't track down the forehand.
People would say I'm a closed book. Always have been, kind of keep my feelings to myself, keep myself to myself. I am in the process of trying to be more open and talk about my feelings.
And that is impressive from the Brit. A 6-2 first set, showing what she's about.
My expectation for myself is pretty high. I put pressure on myself because I expect the best of myself.
How will Kenin respond to this early break deficit? That is classy, gathering momentum as she levels at 5-all. Tense times for Coach Ben Reeves.
It's pressure I put on myself. I don't feel that from anyone else around me. It is all my doing, and something I'm still trying to get better at, and just finding ways to handle that.
Kartal up the court. She's got the forehand on top of the court. Forehand cross court and long from Kenin. Kartal moving into the second round of qualifying. And she's done it with victory in straight sets over the former world number 4. All smiles in the Kartal camp.
When it gets to the big moments, I manage to kind of keep my head under pressure. I think that's also one of my biggest assets. You know, I seem to play some of my best tennis in that situation.
It's not only up-and-coming Brits who are taking to the Nottingham grass courts. With one of the biggest stars in tennis taking his place in the draw, time on centre court is at a premium.
Supposed to play on centre. How do you manage to keep your focus?
I mean, yeah, that's what happens when Sir Andy Murray plays the tournament.
But no matter on which court you play, an invaluable opportunity to step into the tennis spotlight awaits.
Great memories from the grass season over the years. You know, there's lots of pressure and loads of expectation, but you need to try and look at the positives of it and what a great opportunity it is to progress in your career.
The 3-time Grand Slam champion may be the main attraction, but the Brits are in action across the event as qualifying continues. For Eden Silva, a win over Mexican Maria Zacharias sets up an all-British clash.
I've always enjoyed playing on the grass so much. It really does suit my game. Once you start playing well, you do pick up momentum and you get on a roll and your confidence just goes from here to there. I do think that there's more positives playing at home on the grass than there are negatives.
With the ups and downs, it can be a real emotional roller coaster through the year, and it's really nice to play in front of the British fans, you know.
So a Brit guaranteed to progress to the main draw in Nottingham, but who will it be? Harriet Dart getting us underway. Silva looking decent early on. Forehand cross court, and it's a winner from Dart. Tricky for Silva to face a higher ranked opponent who knows her so well. She's going to have to dig deep today.
In tennis, there's always some sort of pressure, whether it's pressure of performing at home in front of, you know, a lot of people you know and they're expecting you to do well because you're British, or whether you're defending points when then your ranking's going to drop. So there's always some sort of pressure.
Understandable frustration as she loses what is ultimately a one-sided opening set.
As I've played many years, you kind of get used to the added pressure and you can control that experience.
This is match point. Serve out wide to the backhand. Silva lines up for the forehand, but miscues. And it is Harriet Dart moving into the main draw. Her determination just too strong a wall for Silva to drill through on this occasion.
You're going to lose way more matches than you're going to win. It's the harsh reality of it, and I think once you accept that, you can pick yourself up quicker when you do have those tough losses. And you know, the light at the end of the tunnel is there is a match next week, and you've got another chance to go out there and be better and win.
Lessons to learn for Eden Silva as she heads on to the Rothsay Classic in Birmingham. For Arthur Fery, who is given a wild card into the main draw, it's straight down to business. A first-round clash with veteran American and former world number 21, Steve Johnson, on centre court.
I think it's definitely to my advantage that I haven't really played on the tour for the past 6-7 months. I won't have played many of these players and they won't have played me, so it'll be to my advantage for sure, and the grass season hopefully will go well for me.
He's the favourite by ranking for this one, Steve Johnson, but he will know not to underestimate a young Brit on the grass. Fery doesn't take the set, but he does take the knowledge that he has the weapons to do damage out here.
My goals in the past have been a lot based on improvements, not really ranking, but you kind of look at the rankings, and right now I'm sitting around 400 coming out of college, so the first step to get into the Grand Slam qualifying, which means you need a ranking of about 230, 240 in the world.
Big statement from Fery, staying in it mentally at the beginning of the second set. Oh, that's a great shot.
Ultimately, a good goal to set myself next 2-3 years would be to reach the top 100. I think with a lot of hard work, consistency, I can achieve that goal.
Johnson with the lob. Fery's following it. He's at the baseline. He takes the backhand down the line. Sensational winner from Fery to wrap up the game. That is quite the move.
A dominant second set from Fery, but with all the momentum in his favour, the British weather intervenes.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to safety, clear is suspended. Maybe this time, perhaps retreat to the bar, get yourself something nice.
Arthur's Nottingham debut will stretch into a second day. Before Arthur could continue his story in Nottingham, Sonay Kartal was continuing hers as she stepped onto court against Elena Gabriela Rusa.
Kartal looking good early on in this match with the number 8 seed. The Brit is serving. Rusa now scrambling with the forehand. Oh, she's down. Oh, she's hit the deck, Rusa, and looks in some discomfort. Chair umpire has come to check on her.
An injury to her opponent could present an opportunity for Sonay, but she would need to keep her focus to progress.
You can't lose your concentration for a second. It helps if you go point by point, and then it just makes it much easier to kind of navigate through the match that way.
Kartal kick serves into the forehand and gets set for the backhand slice, and Rusa, it really still seems to be struggling with that injury.
There are some players who absolutely thrive on the excitement. They love the attention. But for other players, there is added pressure. There's no denying that when grass court season comes around, it affects everyone in one way or another.
Match point here, Rusa serves into the forehand of Kartal, and that's a clean return winner. The Brit has qualified for a WTA main draw for the first time.
Once you're done with your match, it's a lot about, focusing on the recovery for your next match, a bit of maintenance for your body.
You've got to be able to go back-to-back days. That's something quite unique in tennis, where we play every day, and it could be any time of the day. There's no specific routine to it, so we have to be prepared for anything. The robustness with our body is very important.
For the entire week, you have to be on it, whether it's with your sleep recovery, what you eat, with your warm-ups, obviously with the playing the matches, you have to be in that top 1% of yourself to win the event.
All you really need is 1 or 2 really good weeks, and you can propel yourself so many spots up in that rankings.
A third match in as many days for Sonay sees her take on world number 77, Magdalena Freck, in the first round of the main draw. Despite showing real fight to level the match in the second set, the freshness of her opponent eventually tells, with Sonay losing out in 3 sets.
Not to be for Kartal today, but she'll be proud of her week in Nottingham, particularly of that win over Kenin in qualifying.
As Sonay reflects on a disappointing result, Arthur will be hoping to avoid the same fate as he prepares to step back onto centre court.
There's a lot of downtime in tennis, especially during tournaments.
It's hot today, isn't it? So warm, mate.
Overnight delays are weird. So I was just hanging around. I kind of knew I wasn't going to play. Just got to wait. Tennis is a sport of adaptation anyway. You just come out with a lot more energy. You've only got 1 set max to play, so you can afford to just expend some energy and kind of pump yourself up.
And we'll be introducing you to players very, very shortly. The one is for Steve Johnson. Ferry.
Held up for almost 24 hours. Welcome back to centre court, culmination of this contest.
Tried to come out with a lot of energy and yeah, a bit of fire in my step.
Well, the thunderstorms have cleared, but that was a bolt of lightning off the racket of Arthur Fery.
Got going pretty quick and yeah, managed to break him at 2-all.
He's come out here a man on a mission. There is an air of purpose around the Brit.
Ferry.
And that will do it. Some resumption to this match for Arthur Fery.
Did you do your ranking? I'd say I was like 400, probably 380, something like that. 382.
Oh my word. He's landed one to set up match points.
Is that a big deal yet? It's a milestone. I wouldn't say it's a big deal, because I think I can do a lot better. My tennis represents a lot better than 380 in the world.
It's not just good, it's very good from this man. Arthur Fery taking out the former champion to move into round 2.
Feel good?
Yeah, it's good.
It's a long road ahead, but I'm really excited for the journey and we'll try to progress. Hopefully it will go well for me.
As Arthur headed into the autumn, his form was gathering momentum. 2 victories over a player with a career-high world ranking of 7, David Goffin, and a first ATP Challenger final in October. The reward, a new career-high ranking inside the world top 300.
For the British players on the grass, that is a hot pot of pressure, and if you can learn to sort of perform with it and use those benefits to your advantage, it can be really difficult to stop. Over the last few years, we've had a lot of players go on really good runs.
And in Nottingham this year, that success continued, with 6 Brits reaching the quarter-finals, including a record 4 in the women's draw.
Jodie Burridge, very well played.
Harriet Darts, what lies in wait?
Richly deserved. Into the quarterfinals. Heather Watson, that was awesome.
Thank you. It's absolutely incredible. So nice to see everyone doing so well. We all work really hard with each other, and also not only on the court, everyone's, they're great people, and it's just nice to see them doing really well.
And it is quarterfinal number 3 here in Nottingham. The home favourite is 3.
Coming up next time.
Does not get any better than that.
Can you reflect on that amazing week in Nottingham?
You have to cherish the moments because you know it's not going to be every week.
It's a big opportunity to play good players.
Get a text message saying Dimitrov wants to practice, Alcaraz needs to warm up.
Amy, well done, huh? Well done, mate. Hold it up for me out there, huh?